Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are taking a trip deep into the heart of India, where faith, mystery, and culture come together in some of the most unbelievable ways. We're going to be exploring temples that seriously challenge our understanding of the world. So, let's dive in.
Okay, so let me just start with this question. Can faith actually challenge logic? I mean, what if I told you there's a temple with a massive stone pillar that just hangs in the air? Or what about a gigantic, 1,000-year-old building made with 130,000 tons of granite, but with absolutely no foundation holding it up? And look, these aren't just some old stories. These are real places you can visit today, and we're about to explore them.
All right, here's what we've got on tap. We're going to start with temples that seem to completely defy the laws of engineering. Then we'll visit places where miracles are just, a normal part of daily life. After that, we'll check out some of the most unbelievable offerings made to the gods. And finally, we'll discover what happens when faith goes beyond the usual deities.
So first up, we're diving into some real architectural mysteries. These are ancient structures that modern scientists and engineers, even today, have a hard time explaining. I mean, how on earth do they build these things with the tech they had back then?
Let's start with the Brihadishwara Temple in Tamil Nadu. This place is just mind-bending. It's over 1,000 years old, and the staggering part is that this whole massive structure was built with no foundation. It just sits there. No deep supports, nothing. Just 130,000 tons of granite held together by pure genius.
And if you think that's wild, wait till you hear the details. It was built with 130,000 tons of granite, which, by the way, isn't even found anywhere near the temple. The stones are all interlocked, with no cement or anything holding them together. And somehow, the main tower is built so its shadow never even hits the ground. But the real kicker? The capstone.
That capstone on top is a single piece of granite that weighs 80 tons. 80 tons. So how in the world did they hoist an 80-ton block of stone to the height of a 20-story building 1,000 years ago, with no modern cranes? That is still a huge mystery.
And then there's this other puzzle, the Letpakshi Temple. It has 70 pillars, but one of them doesn't actually touch the ground. You can literally slide a piece of paper or a cloth right under it. People believe doing that brings good luck. Again, how did they pull that off centuries ago?
All right, so we've seen stuff that messes with physics. Now let's get into the supernatural. This section is all about temples where events that you just can't explain, well, miracles are a regular thing. A perfect example is the Jwalaji Temple. There's a flame here that's been burning for centuries, with no obvious source of fuel. For the faithful, this is a manifestation of the goddess herself. Scientists, on the other hand, have a theory that it's probably fed by natural methane gas coming up from the ground. It's this really cool spot where belief and science kind of collide.
Okay, get ready for this next one, because it's a little different. Welcome to the Karni Mata Temple in Rajasthan, which is famously known as the Temple of Rats. Yeah? And here, thousands of rats aren't pests at all. They're actually worshipped and protected. And I'm not talking about a few. We're talking about 25,000 of them. These holy rats, called Kabbas, are thought to be reincarnated storytellers. It's actually considered a huge blessing if one of them runs over your feet. And here's the part that's just wild. Any food that's been nibbled on by the rats is considered sacred, and people who eat it say they never get sick.
And check this out. At the Aidana Mata Temple in Rajasthan, a few times a month, the whole shrine just bursts into flames, totally on its own. Devotees call it an Agni Snan, or a holy fire bath for the goddess. But somehow, the fire burns everything except the idol of the goddess. It's left completely untouched.
Okay, so moving on, let's talk about offerings. The gifts people give to the gods. Our next section looks at some of the most unique and honestly surprising offerings you'll find across India. So, what do you think of when you picture an offering at a temple? Maybe some flowers, right? Or some sweets? Well, you're about to see things get a little unconventional.
First up, in Varanasi, they offer alcohol to the god called Bhairav. Then you've got this Chinese Kali temple in Kolkata, where the holy food they hand out is noodles and chop suey. Yep, you heard that right. In Punjab, there's a Gurudwara where people offer toy airplanes, hoping it'll help them get a visa to go abroad. And my personal favorite, in Kerala, a god is known as Munch Murugan because his favorite offering is a Nestle Munch chocolate bar.
All right, for our last section, we're going to stretch the idea of faith even further.
Here, we'll see how belief can be placed not just in traditional gods, but in animals and other kinds of guardian spirits.
So in this small village in Gujarat, there's a temple where they worship the bones of a whale. The story goes that 300 years ago, a man had a dream that a goddess would appear on the shore. The very next day, a huge whale washed up. The villagers believed it was the goddess, and to this day they prayed to Matsya Mata, the whale mother, to protect their village.
And if you thought a whale goddess was unique, how about a temple for dogs? In Karnataka, while a village was building a new temple, 2 stray dogs were always around. As soon as the temple was finished, the dogs just vanished. Later, the village goddess appeared in a dream and asked them to build statues of the 2 dogs to guard her temple forever.
So, what does all of this mean? Well, I think this quote sums it up perfectly. These places aren't just buildings. They're living, breathing stories of India's just incredible diversity and rich history.
Really, the main thing to take away from all this is just how powerful and creative faith can be. I mean, from impossible architecture to chocolate bars and whale goddesses, it's clear that faith always finds a way.
And that really brings us to the final question, doesn't it? After everything we've seen, these places that defy easy explanation, what do they really tell us about that universal human need we all have, for faith, for belief, and just for a little bit of wonder in our lives?